Hello, YouTube fam. Get ready to lose your minds because today we're spilling all the tea on Babygirl 2024, one of Time Magazine's top 10 movies of the year. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's dive into the chaos. Imagine this. A cocky young intern walks into his boss's office, a total powerhouse CEO, and straight up kisses her. And instead of getting fired, she's kind of into it. That one bold move kicks off a wild, steamy game where this intern starts pulling the strings. And his boss, she's falling hard, starring the legendary Nicole Kidman as a high-flying exec caught in a scandalous affair with a younger guy. This movie's all about desire, control, and crossing every line in the book. Grab your popcorn because this recap's going to be a ride. Let's meet Romy, the queen of a fancy tech company. On paper, her life's perfect. A stunning New York mansion, 2 cute kids, and a husband who worships her. But here's the real talk. Her marriage? It's been years and the spark's long gone. Her husband's sweet, but he's not giving her what she needs. So Romy's got a secret routine. When he's asleep, she slips away, scrolling the internet for some self-help to satisfy her cravings. One morning while strutting to work, a huge black dog goes feral, charging at people and heading straight for her. Out of nowhere, a guy whistles sharply, and just like that, the dog chills out, totally under control. Romy's watching, and instead of freaking out, she's got this look, like she's low-key thrilled by how this dude tamed something so wild. Back at work, her assistant says a new group of interns is waiting to meet her. Guess who's in the lineup? Yup, the dog tamer himself, Samuel, the boldest intern you'll ever meet. This guy's not shy, throwing out big ideas for the company right in Romy's face. She's impressed, curious, and maybe a bit too interested in this confident 20-something. Later, she corners him to ask about that dog trick. Samuel's all smooth, but then he flips it, teasing her about her coffee addiction and asking how many cups she's had. Romy, caught off guard, admits to 7. Why is she even telling him? That night, she's tossing and turning, replaying their chat, her heart racing like she's a teenager with a crush. Hoping to reignite things at home, she hints to her husband about spicing up their bedroom game, but he shuts it down, saying it feels weird and wrong. Ouch. Crushed, Romy heads to work, now totally fixated on Samuel. At a company party for the interns, she ducks out to the balcony for some air. And who slides up? Samuel, with a slick excuse about needing a lighter. This guy's charm has her stuttering, heart pounding, and when he drops that he's chosen her as his mentor, it feels like a flirty confession. Romy's sneaking glances at him all night, acting like she's back in high school. When Samuel, maybe a bit too wild, tosses his tie on the floor, she snatches it up on the sly. Alone in her office, curtains close, she's sniffing that tie, even putting it in her mouth. Y'all, she's hooked. Problem is, Romy's in her 50s, Samuel's in his 20s, and that age gap's got her feeling out of her league. She starts getting Botox, hitting up fancy treatments to stay looking snatched, all to keep up with this young guy. One day, they're alone in the elevator, and Samuel pushes for a private meeting to talk work. Romy's torn. She's dying to be alone with him, but scared of ruining her untouchable CEO vibe. She says no, but when he notices her Botox and showers her with compliments, she's melting. After work, she gives in and meets him one-on-one. She tries to keep it professional, asking about his job, but Samuel's got other plans. He mentions the office's soundproofing, then gets her to spill her entire life story. School, career, everything, like she can't resist him. Then Samuel hits her with a truth bomb. He knows she's a boss on the outside, but secretly craves being controlled. Romy's shook. How does he see through her like that? Freaked out, she gives him her number and tries to leave, but Samuel shuts the door, closing in. The tension's electric, and Romy can't stop herself. She goes in for a kiss. Samuel pulls back, taking charge. Then they're full-on making out. Suddenly, she snaps out of it, realizing this is a huge mistake, and bolts. Samuel just smirks like he's already winning. For days, he's texting her nonstop, but she avoids him at work. He calls her out, saying if she won't mentor him, he'll find someone else. Not wanting their drama to leak, Romy agrees to weekly private meetings. Feeling guilty, she visits her husband's film set for the first time in years, trying to ground herself. But the set's intense energy pulls her in, and her husband's clueless about the chaos in her head. At another work party, Romy can't stop eyeing Samuel. Out of nowhere, a waiter sets a glass of milk in front of her. Everyone knows she hates milk and she didn't order it, but Samuel's staring and she gets it. It's a test. She chugs it, ignoring her coworker's side eyes, basically shouting she's under his spell. Later at her husband's film wrap party, Samuel texts her to meet up. She lies about work and rushes to the office, finding only a note with a hotel room number. She changes, heads to the hotel, and finds Samuel's bag and a woman's hair on the bed. No Samuel. When he shows up, she tries to draw a line, saying they need distance. He's not having it, pointing out she got all dressed up for him. He tells her to kneel. When he says he could ruin her life with one call, Romy feels a weird thrill. She almost kneels but grabs her coat to leave, until desire takes over, and she throws herself at him. Samuel's got bigger plans, though. He wants total control, making her stand in the corner like a kid in trouble, crawl like a dog, and hold candy in her mouth. Just like that black dog, Romy's completely tamed. Her deepest desires explode. Feelings her husband never touched. Afterwards, she's crying in his arms, years of pent-up passion finally free. From then on, every private moment at work turns into their secret playground. Romy's glowing, playing the perfect mom and wife at home, but living for Samuel. Then one day she gets home and hears his voice in her kitchen, chatting with her family. He says he's just dropping off her laptop, but Romy's freaking out. She drags him to her car, warning him to stay away from her family, her one hard line, and says they're done outside work. Samuel calls it a game, not a relationship, and storms off. Things get messy when Samuel starts avoiding her at work, then announces he's transferring departments. Romy panics. If he leaves, the company might sniff out their affair, and her career's done. She begs him to stay, but he's not asking. He's telling. Desperate, she blows up his phone with no reply. At home, when her husband gets close, she snaps, saying he's never satisfied her and she can't stand his touch. She tracks Samuel to his part-time bar job, but he sends a co-worker to brush her off. Next morning, her husband asks about her outburst. She blames work stress, and he buys it. At the office, she corners Samuel before his transfer, pleading for him to stay. He says he might, if she agrees to obey him completely. To save her job and keep him close, Romy says she'll submit. He leaves satisfied, and their secret continues. At her daughter's birthday party, Samuel shows up with Romy's assistant, and she's rattled. She pulls him into the kitchen, grilling him about dating her assistant. The assistant walks in, catching them. Later, Romy warns the assistant to steer clear of Samuel, framing it as career advice. That night, Samuel takes Romy to his bar, where she lets loose, dancing like she's young and free, forgetting her CEO status. She sneaks home late, but her daughter's awake, calling out her weird behavior and begging her to focus on her struggling dad. The next day, the assistant shows up at Romy's house, saying she knows about Samuel but isn't here to snitch. She respects Romy as a leader and wants her to end it to keep inspiring women at work. Alone, Romy realizes her obsession's taken over, making her forget who she is: a wife, mom, and boss. Romy confesses to her husband, saying she was tempted and cheated once with a stranger, softening the truth. It's still too much. He can't handle the betrayal, saying cheating's never just once. He kicks her out despite her begging. Heartbroken, Romy hides out at their suburban villa. One night, she sees Samuel swimming in her pool. She tells him to leave, but he pulls her into the water, and they're tangled up again. As they talk inside, her husband walks in, catching them. Furious, he fights Samuel, both ending up bruised. When they cool off, her husband assumes Romy's strength hurt Samuel, but Samuel reveals he's the one in charge, crushing her husband's view of her. It triggers his panic attack, and Samuel helps calm him before leaving. Romy shuts down, skipping work and home, lost in guilt. Her daughter finds her, saying her dad's a wreck, hiding at his theater, and needs her. Romy breaks down, seeing how her actions broke her family. She goes to her husband, apologizing, swearing she's done with Samuel and will never hurt them again. In the end, Romy's back as a fierce CEO, Samuel moves on, and her husband tries to meet her needs. And that's the wild ride of Babygirl, 2024. What did you think of Romy's crazy journey? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you love this recap, and subscribe for more movie teas.